Hi guys, apologies, this video stopped at 7 minutes, so this is just a continuation. I couldn't find the old video, so you just listen to audio. So you can start from 7 if you've watched the previous video, or you can watch the previous video up to 7 minutes and then continue with this audio. Sorry guys, this won't happen again.
I would see people at church, but then outside church, they're not people that they say they are. Like in church, they are holier than holy. Like that, those people that I don't even wish for my worst enemy to experience a child that is going through drugs and everything, because it's traumatizing. Like the minute they are away, you feel pity, but then when he comes to you, you just get annoyed of. Like he annoys you because you know how much the whole family has tried for him to actually be fine.
To do the abortion?
Yeah, I don't know what they came to, but then the guy now was there for abortions. So the minute I'm trying to backslide, God shows up.
Sometimes we live a life where the devil is just here to kill and destroy, but God refuses with our lives. He says, whatever the devil brings in our life, he is there to change it for our good. Hello, welcome to It Is My Truth. My name is Lindy.Shirries. In this podcast, guys, we share the gospel and expose the devil and make sure that God is glorified with our lives. This is a platform where we allow people to come and share their testimonies. That way, people will know that they are not alone. Someone somewhere out there is going through the same thing that you are going through. So in today's podcast, guys, I am so excited because I have Sally. I've decided to bring Sally into this podcast because her life is just one miracle, guys. I believe that everything that she's going to share, it is going to be something that's going to help someone out there. And without wasting time, let's just welcome Sally. Sally, welcome to It Is My Truth.
Thank you.
So before we even start with introduction, I just want to ask you two questions. The first question is, what is your favorite Bible verse?
My favorite Bible verse is Philippians 4 verse 13. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Amen, amen. And the second question is, what is your biggest regret in this life?
My biggest regret is running from pain to feeling like I'm going somewhere better.
Yeah.
Not actually knowing that I'm actually inviting or throwing myself into more pain.
Yeah.
So what I basically did in general is that I was feeling like I'm running. I was feeling like I'm going to survive out there without the family. So I left home because I was feeling like I'm not treated nice or I'm not treated good. Like I felt like I'm left out. Then ran into a relationship. Then basically it's like I ran away with the guy. Yeah, so.
Yeah, Rihanna says we learn best when we get bent. It is true, guys. How can she know unless if she went through what she went through? Now she can explain it better and try and warn those young people who feel like running away from home because of a certain pain is the only solution. And I must say, there are people who couldn't stay at home because of abuse, like severe abuse. They had to leave their home and now they are doing better. So yeah, we pray that God will speak to you according to their situation that you are facing at home. What is your proudest thing or success in your life that you can think about now?
The best thing that has ever happened into my life is my kids.
Amen. Amen.
So I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. That's like my biggest joy.
Yes.
Like it's something that brings me joy all the time when I look at them.
Yeah, and they have a way of pushing us, guys. Like sometimes you just live your life, but once a child comes, you just forget everything and start living for them and start doing things to make sure that they are taken care of. So it is a joy and a blessing to have a child. So yeah, now moving on to the next question. Sally, I want us to dream. When you look at your life, and you look at what you want to achieve, and I believe you just quoted that verse where you said all things are possible with God. I want us to dream. Where do you see yourself? Let's not say 5 years or 10 years, but then let's just say one day when God truly blesses you. What do you see as your life in that time?
You see, when they say I'm dreaming beyond dreams.
Yeah.
So I see myself in this mansion with my kids.
Yes.
Cars. Like my kids going to the best schools, even if they don't have to go to school. But then for me, like for them, I would hire like international tutor or something for that person to teach them at home. Like having frames, cars, trucks, like everything that you can actually think of. Like any business that you think that brings a lot of money. That's where I want to be. I want to like set a legacy for my grandchildren. Like to say, we had this granny was Salia, she secured us. Like I want this big family, like where all my grandchildren's children, like they would stick together, like it's like the way they are siblings. Like even I want my son's kids and my daughter's kids to be close to each other, like they are siblings. Yeah, I just want that life, like the impossible to be possible.
It is possible with God, you said it. And a big family, I already can see it. And how many kids do you want?
Now I'm fine. Now I want the two that I have.
So if you get married, sorry husband, there won't be more kids if she does get married.
If I get married?
Yes.
I don't see myself getting married anymore.
Okay. Is it because of her? You don't trust them?
Yeah, I feel like I don't trust men anymore.
All right. So I'll just pray for God to change her heart, because there are good men out there. I must say, there are good men out there. Even though the picture that we are seeing, it's not men that are representing Christ, but I do know there are good men out there, and I pray that Sally will get that man coming from God. All right, Sally, so we are now moving on to the struggles that you face and where God refused to let you go. So Sally, tell me about the relationship with God. Ever since you were a child up until you're now living alone, how did you see God in your life?
I would say God has always been there for me. Like from day one, He has always been there for me. And like I would sometimes lose faith and be like, okay, I'm going to church, and I'm not just going to church. I know I have faith. I know that I'm different from, like, I would see people at church, but then outside church, they're not people that they say they are. Like in church, they are holier than holy. Like that, those people that they would be like different, and I'm like, okay, I'm just. For me, I'm me. I'm like this.
The same at church.
Yeah, at church I'm like this. I don't even have to do, like, I'm just like this. So people at church, some people, I think those type of people are actually the ones that are pushing people from going to church, because they are preventing other people from being Christians or something. Because what's trending now is that we Christians are judgy, we Christians act holier than holy, we Christians act as if like we don't make mistakes, we just perfect. So many people don't want to adventure into Jesus Christ because they feel like they have to be like someone that they saw acting as if like they're Christ's friend
and perfect.
Yeah. So with me, God has always been there for me. It has been hard, and it was difficult to a point whereby I would lose faith and be like, you know what, maybe this life it isn't for me. But then every time, even when I'm about to, like the minute I'm trying to actually turn my back or backslide, that's when God shows up. Like he changes what I was actually facing at that moment and make me survive at that time.
Yeah.
Like he would make me survive that moment where I'm actually feeling like, you know what, why am I even praying? Because I've known that I've been praying, and I know that I trust God, and I know that I'm a sinner, yes. And I know that I'm not perfect, yes, but why is God blessing this person and I know what they did? And I haven't done worse to what they have done, but then I'm being punished. So the minute I'm trying to backslide, God shows up. And he shows up in a different way. He shows up in a manner of like, I want to show you that I'm here. The fact that you think that I'm not God, I don't care about you. Look at this and tell me if I don't care about you. and I would literally see it. It would just turn around, like the situation would just turn out for my good. Like it would just turn around and be something totally different from what I was experiencing yesterday. Like today I would experience this, and that night I would start crying and praying to God. Like that's the only place I go to when I go, like when I have problems. Like it hits hard at night. Like during the day I'll be fine and normal, but then when it comes to night, it comes back. So I feel like he reminds me that why you're relaxing, remember you're going through this, then talk to me. And I would talk like as if like I'm talking to someone, and my son would be like, Mama, and I'm like, Askawar. And at that time I'm talking, and I feel like maybe when I'm alone I'm acting crazy or something, because I talk and I even answer myself at that time and like, okay, and I don't even understand why is all this happening. I mean, like, how am I praying and asking you this and you give me the different thing that like I'm asking for? I'm asking you for a house, you're giving me a baby.
Do you think God gave you a baby, or it was a choice that you made? Because I think in life we sometimes make bad decisions on something that we know exactly, like no sex before marriage, and then after we blame God. I know I've done so many of those. At
this point, I wasn't actually blaming God. I was actually being grateful, because I've seen a lot of people struggling to have kids.
Okay.
And yet, I just had a baby, and I'm seeing a lot of people struggling to have kids, honestly.
Yeah,
at a point whereby I was even Googling and checking where can I actually be a surrogate. Because I feel like maybe I'm too fertile. Maybe me being fertile can actually bring joy to another woman's life. It can bring joy to someone's family. Like it can actually change a situation in someone's family. Because I wasn't actually blaming God. I was actually asking him like, okay, I know that I'm not perfect, but then this one and this one and this one, they are jollying. And now I'm trying this like for 2 months, then I get pregnant. Of me spending a full year being single, then I'm dating for 2 months, then I get pregnant. God, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to show me? And with my second pregnancy, I wasn't ready. Like I wasn't ready at all. I was thinking of doing abortions. I went to the women's clinic. When I got to that women's clinic, a friend of mine who's working in Boulders called me and she was like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, I'm at the clinic. And she's like, okay, let's grab something to eat, then you go back.
Oh, wow.
Then okay, cool. It was her lunch, so I'm like, okay, let me leave. Then I told the lady that was like next to me, because I was like number 8.
To do the abortion?
Yeah, I don't know what they came to, but then the guy now was there for abortions.
Okay.
So I was like number 8. And I didn't even leave the clinic for over an hour and 30 minutes. And I was there, I got there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now it's 10. Seeing the message that the guy replied on, he said, I'll see you, please show up. I'll see you at 12:30. So it's past 10 now. The girl called me and said, let's go grab some things. So we went to McDonald's. Because I wasn't like in the good mood. I wasn't in a good mood.
Yeah.
I'm a foodie, but another time I was scared. I was just facing some difficulty, so I just bought a drink. So we spoke about it. I was like, don't worry, man, like everything will be fine. It's not like this the first time. You're not the first person to do this. So don't worry. I then went back to the clinic. Then when I got there, like when I left, there were like over 12. Like when I left, there were like over 12 people before me. So when I got there, the receptionist called me and said, Sally, we've been calling out your name. And I'm like, you've been calling my name? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. She's like, we postponed your visit to the next day. I'm like, okay, then I'll come tomorrow. Okay, I went back home. It wasn't like bothering me actually. I'm like, okay, I'm going back to the clinic to do the abortion. So when I got home, I slept. Then that night I had a dream. in that dream, there was a bin. You see where they actually dump everything, like those big bins at the road, like
yes.
It was like a scrapyard or something. So I was working. Okay, I was with this other lady. We were seated at Bexiro inside a taxi. So I'm finding myself on top of that bin. I'm seeing 2 kids there. They were crying. So I'm there to save them. So me and that lady were busy taking those kids. Then I saw this cute chubby baby, like a baby girl. Then I was like, no, I'm loving this one. I'm taking this one home with me. And then she was like, no, we need to take them to the police. I'm like, no, you can take that one to the police, but then me, I'm keeping this one. She's so cute. And like, I don't know how the dream ended, but then it was something like that. The following day, I just woke up. I was lazy. I had headache. I'm like, nah, I'll go some other day.
So after that dream, did you think God was communicating something?
No, I didn't even think God was communicating something with me. I was just, I even forgotten that I dreamt about a baby. Like it was like I wasn't even interested. So the following day, I'm like, I'm not going. I'm tired. Saturday, I'm going to work. Okay, I went to work. Then this other day, I was actually thinking, I'm like, Pella, this is getting big and it's getting overdue for me to terminate. I need to terminate this thing before it's late. I'm okay. I'm checking now. I don't have money for the women's clinic anymore. I had spent it. So I'm like checking again on the internet. I'm finding this other ones in Tembisa. I called them. When I called, it was a Nigerian guy. I'm like,
in Tembisa?
Yeah.
It's a clinic?
Yeah, I found them on the internet on Google.
Yeah.
I'm like, Nigerian, they're going, now what if I die? My son, now I want my son to have a mom. So I'm like, I won't do this one. I deleted that one. I looked for another one. I'm now looking for cheaper options because it was like for 3,500 at that time at the clinic, the proper one. So now I'm looking for a cheaper option. I'm left with 1,000 in my account. I'm like, I need to do something quick and fast. So I'm looking for a cheaper one. Then they said pills for 600. You come, we give you the pills, you drink them, you'll feel some period pains, blah 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 and stuff. Now I can't do this on my own. I need you to do it for me because if I go home with it, I won't do it. I know that. I won't, like, I'm just lazy to a point whereby, like, even if I go to a Sangoma today and they give me muti to say, bath with this for 3 days, night, whatever, I'll just do it for that day. Then tomorrow I won't do it. Like, I have lost interest. So I want you, if I'm going to do something, I want it to happen now and get done with it. So then I don't know what happened. I started delaying. I don't know how. Then I started bonding with the baby because the kicks had started, and I would start apologizing to my baby. I don't know what got over me. I know I won't be the first single mom. Like, I'm actually apologizing to my baby. I know I had tried. Like, at that time, I'm not a heavy drinker. But then at that time I was a heavy drinker. In my first trimester of pregnancy, like I used to drink a lot.
Was it because you wanted abortion to happen?
No, I don't know.
Or it's because the lifestyle you were living and now alcohol was in your system and you just wanted alcohol?
No, I wasn't drinking, but then I started drinking when I got pregnant. I think it was actually a way of me running away from thinking a lot, or because I don't know, but then it helped me sleep a lot. Oh yeah,
so now I understand why people who have problems are saying you will drink. Yeah, and they just drink, and they'll even say we just want to sleep better.
Yeah, because I feel like it's not actually what you plan to do. It's a demon. Because I just saw myself this, like, I've never ever in my life passed by a liquor store and buy alcohol for myself. But then at that time I did that. I went to liquor store and bought like 6 really brutal fruit, and when I got home I drank them. I felt like, I'm not fine, I need more.
Okay.
I went to this other shop, they selling alcohol. I bought 3 Savannas. I had drank in most cases, if I drink more than 4 beers, I vomit. But then at that time I didn't even vomit. I slept peacefully.
Okay.
and woke up.
So alcohol is also a demon.
Yeah, I feel like
makes
the
people
devil
feel like, okay, I can numb your pain. I can
Yeah.
numb your pain, but you're not actually dealing with the pain.
Yeah,
and the
so-
pain is not going away.
I feel like the devil actually takes advantage of the situation that you're actually facing at that moment. Then he's actually trying to get to you using something that, like, he knows that with this thing, if you are here, I've won you.
And he's so sneaky because alcohol you can just take. You think it's nothing.
Yeah.
But then you're going deeper and deeper into more problems because there's money buying that
Yeah.
alcohol. It's expensive. But then for some reason people afford to buy
Yeah,
this
I
alcohol.
was shocked because I would be able to afford that alcohol, but then not be able to buy myself something nice.
Yeah. And then now that the baby's here, she is beautiful, guys. She is beautiful. She's such a blessing. I always say to her, good to the baby is a blessing. There was a point in your life where you didn't have a place to stay and you had a son.
Yeah,
I know you cannot go deeper into details because it affects other people, but then just say, how did God come through for you? What miracle did you experience at that time?
At that time, yeah, that was the most difficult time of my life. I never thought I would experience such thing in my life, but then yet I have. So if it wasn't for God keeping me strong, I don't know where I would be. Like, I don't know what could have happened to me at the time. Because that was hard.
But we thank God, Gucci, now you have a place to sleep, fully furnished. Your son is well taken care of. Even your daughter is well taken care of. Those are miracles that God does in our lives for us to see how big He is. And I truly believe He really took care of you there.
Yeah.
He really took care. Like I always say to Sally, when God is holding you like this. You know, Sally lives a life where there's no backup. No backup. And sometimes you would like, oh, she's falling. Like, you know, when you driving and then it's just one way, but you have to come across. Sally, God would like pick her up and make her jump to the other side. That's what I've noticed with her life. And I am truly grateful for that. So the last miracle that happened to you, that one shocked me as well. Please tell us what happened with work.
So I was working at work. I was on maternity. I applied maternity leave. Then, they approved my maternity leave. I went home. 2 weeks or 1 week down the line, everyone has been retrenched.
Yeah.
Like, everyone. So people are calling me, we got retrenched. Where now? What's happening? No, we're not giving up with our fight. We're going to fight. Hey, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, what's happening? They didn't call me yet. So I'm like, okay, maybe I won't be retrenched now because I'm on maternity leave. So I'm starting to check on Google. No, they can't retrench someone who's on maternity. So what they did, they paid me my first salary. Second one, they didn't pay.
And do remember, Sally, she's taking care of her son, and she's alone, no backup, as I said. If she gets money, she gets money. If she doesn't have money, she doesn't have money.
Okay, the 25th passed. I'm asking other ones that are still working, did you guys get paid? Yeah, we got paid. Okay, maybe I'll get paid tomorrow. I'm relaxed. I'm not panicking. 2 days down the line, I'm messaging my manager. Dude, I didn't get paid. What's wrong? You didn't get paid. Okay, let me ask your HR. She sent an HR an email. The HR ignored her. She forwarded me a screenshot. This lady's ignoring me. I don't know why, but then I'll keep calling her. Today it's from the 25th. It's like the 2nd. I need to pay rent. I don't have money to pay rent. I need to call them. I'm calling her. She's I'm stressing her the time so that she can actually push. So she's calling the manager, the HR guys. What's happening? She didn't get paid. They replied and told her that tell her to apply to go to labor to apply for maternity. I'm calling them. How do I apply for maternity if I had never applied for maternity while I was applying for my maternity leave at work? maternity leave doesn't pay immediately. It takes time to pay. So how am I going to pay rent? How am I going to survive in the meantime? Why didn't you tell me this? Because you knew that I was pregnant since I was 5 months. I had submitted my documents when I was 5 months pregnant that I'm pregnant and I'll be going to leave on June. Why are you guys doing this? So they're now no longer talking to me now. Just then the other day I was actually on my phone stressing because we don't have food, I'm pregnant and my son is here, I didn't pay rent. Lucky enough I called my landlord. She understood. And she's one person that understands.
And besides, you were not a trouble person. You always paid on time.
So she's like, okay, it's fine, you'll pay month end. Now I'm calling them every day, still no reply. I have a son, I'm staying with my son, and we don't have food in the house. So it's at that time, it's difficult at that time. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Who am I going to ask? I don't want to be a burden anymore to people. I feel like I've been a burden enough for people, so I need to stand on my own and do something. At the time, I'm 9 months pregnant. I can't do anything. Even if I say I would
go look for a job.
Yeah. So then they called me. They sent me an email and said to me, they knew that I don't have a choice. So it's like the 18th somewhere there. I didn't pay rent, we don't have food. So they knew that she doesn't have a choice because she had told us that she needs to pay rent and she can't pay rent because she's at home. They told me that you are unfortunately, we didn't know that you're on maternity leave. You can resign. We've retrenched you. So it wasn't making sense at that time.
Are they retrenching you with a pay or something?
Like they're not saying anything at that time. So I'm trying to call. I called the regional manager of Johannesburg. He spoke to me. He's like, okay, so they will retrench you. So we'll give you a salary for this month. Then done with you. I wasn't stressed.
And what makes you not to stress?
I don't know. I feel like God, I know that God has my back. So I wasn't stressing. I'm like, as long as they pay me. They paid me my salary, then I paid rent. I bought food. I'm expecting I need to buy some few things for the baby. Because the father was never there. The father denied the baby and said the baby's not his and stuff. He wanted DNA. So I had to do things on my own. So I had to buy some few things and arrange and make sure that when I give birth I have everything. So there's this other guy who used to come to my previous job that they just gave me a resignation without talking to me.
Was he coming as a client?
I used to come as a client, like an orphan client. So he was one guy who's quiet. But then he has this brand that he's wearing, this brand. So Bull Paddle in Paddle is the biggest brand. It's something amazing. So this other day I'm like, no, man, you can't be wearing Bull Paddle every day coming here. Also special. And he's like, no, nothing. I just love Bull Paddle. Then we started talking. This other day he came to work. He had a lesson. He's a coach as well. So he was like, no, what are you doing today? I'm like, nothing. Like, no, come, let's hit some balls. So let me teach you some few things, some basics. I'm like, okay. I went to the court and he taught me some few things. We started playing. So he took me pictures and he said, I'll send you the pictures. So we exchanged numbers. I sent him pictures. Then he had come and said, I'm going to build my own club. So I want you there. I'm like, okay. So I had this thing in the back of my mind that, these white people, they always lie. I had come across a lot of them who say, I love you, I want to take you with me.
Be my wife. Another one.
Yeah, so I'm like, this one's, they love lying to me and they're just like this.
And anyway, when he's saying, I'm going to build one, you think, okay, there's foundation, there's buildings, it will take years.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, since they say one paddle court course is 1.something million. And this guy, he says he wants to build indoor courts. And indoor courts, they said the roofing is plus minus 3 million. And he's like, look at this guy, man. Like, he's not that big. Like, he's like an average person. Like, you can't like prejudge him to say, yeah, this one he would build this. Because like we're speaking of plus minus 10 million here.
Yeah.
So I didn't even mind him. So then I went to the hospital. I gave birth. I was admitted for 9 days, right?
Yeah.
Over 9 days. Yeah, I stayed at the hospital for over 9 days. It was difficult for me to actually give birth. It was something, and at night I would always pray because people would come and go. And there, people came in and left me there. Every night I'm praying. I was even praying for others. You know what, guys? Let's pray. We can't be here forever. And after praying for those people, tomorrow they give birth, they go, and I'm still here. So I was stressing, like, what if God is actually punishing me for the fact that I didn't want this baby? What if God is beating me because I wanted to do abortion?
And now you want the baby.
Yeah, now I want the baby. So what if? So I'm praying, God, please forgive me. I'll never do it again. I know that I've wronged you. Every night, please, my baby, forgive me. I know you're an angel, so don't leave me. I want you in my life. I can't live my life without you. It's you and myself and your brother against the world. So it's just the three of us against the world. So if you leave me, it will be only me and your brother. And I want to have I'm taking all those things. I was even feeling like, nah, I'm giving this child too much burden. Why am I always saying this? No, she's still young. Why should I stress her? Okay, baby, you need to come. I'm waiting for you. Then then I gave birth. When I was home, 2 days he called me.
Okay, so before 2 days, maybe first day when you're at home, were you thinking, how am I going to pay rent next month? The food, obviously, the baby's here now. There's so many things that is needed.
So it was just my stress. Because at the time, I don't have money. Like, I'm surviving on 0 rent.
And you're praying, milk, you better come out.
Yeah. So with me, milk never disappointed me. Just my baby was admitted when after I gave birth. So they would just come. I would just pump and they would take it because I was unable to walk and everything. So I would just sit in the bed and everything. So yeah, I had a lot of milk. So I wasn't like, I don't know. When God is with you, nothing else matters because He just kept me. I wasn't even stressing.
Yeah, I remember you were not stressed.
I wasn't. And I would sometimes look at myself and be like, maybe I'm going crazy.
I remember someday I called Sally, like, Sally, do you have food? And he's like, the food is not enough, but I'm fine. I'm like, Sally, hi, you need food.
So like that's how God kept me going. Then this guy called me. Yeah, you got a job. I got a job.
Imagine. After how many days?
Like
home?
4 or 5 days after I gave birth. Yeah, we opening on the 1st of he said the 1st of July. And I'm like, oh man, I'm still on maternity leave. I just gave birth and I'm stressing because like I was on a C-section. I didn't give birth naturally, so it was like a Caesar birth. And it's like, nah, don't worry.
Look at God.
Like God delayed the process of the opening of the club.
Look at God.
On the 1st of July, it didn't open. I'm like, okay, maybe this guy lost interest because I said I'm on maternity leave. Okay, I'm going to Instagram. I'm checking. Still in process. 10 days to go. I'm like, 10 days. I'll be getting better by the time I'll be strong enough to go to it.
You were even walking.
Yeah, I used to walk a lot because I wanted to be fit and strong. So I would leave my room and go to some other time. People would see that like she's struggling to walk, but then I'm forcing because I want to be strong. So they delayed again. July ended. My baby is like now 2 months. I'm now better. Okay. On the 20th of July, he called me. Yeah, we're opening on the 2nd of August. Are you available? How are you? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm ready. Anytime you need me, I'll be there. I'll pop in like He's like, okay, cool. Then on the 25th, he called me. We went for an interview, and like the interview was even classy. Like it wasn't like a formal interview. We went to a restaurant where it wasn't even an interview. It was me, him, and his partner, and this other lady, my two colleagues. So I'm like, okay, guys, we are starting on this day. I just knew when they gave me a cap that okay, I got the job.
Oh, nice. And another interesting part, guys. Getting paid before even starting to work.
Yeah,
one of that one was like a mic drop for me when she got paid even before going to work.
So I was stressing. So I like he said, okay, do you need anything? I'm like, yes, I actually need transport allowance. Okay, transport allowance. Yeah, so you'll give me an advance, then you'll take it. Okay, how much do you need? Just send me how much you need. We'll talk. I'm like, okay. I didn't pay rent, so I need food, I need this, I need to buy electricity. My electricity is going like crazy. I don't know what's what's happening with ESCOM, but then I'm like, okay, I need to do these things and these things. Okay, I'm like, okay, I need this much, and he's like, okay, I'll send you this much actually. This much? I'm like, yeah. Like, okay, thank you very much. It came in. We paid rent. 2 months rent, the previous one and this recent one. I paid rent. I was warned not to do laundry by the doctors because like my operation was severe and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I can't afford to pay someone to do laundry all the time. I'm going to Google, I'm checking. I just saw a washing machine going for 3.5, and I'm like, I have 4K in my account. Like I have more than 4K in my account. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to spend it on something on useless things.
Yeah.
So rather I go buy a washing machine. So I went and bought a washing machine. That's how things changed. That's how God showed me that I'm your father.
I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
So how's your relationship now with God?
My relationship with God, I sometimes judge myself for not going to church because I actually work even on weekends.
But there's a reason, so you shouldn't judge yourself.
So, but then I also not judge myself because I feel like I pray. So, yeah, I pray. In difficult times,
relationship with God.
I pray. In good times, like I've come to a point whereby I don't pray, I don't ask anymore. I'm actually thanking God for His presence in my life.
Amen.
Actually thank Him for His protection over my kids. Mostly I'm praying for wisdom because I feel like I can't raise them all by myself. I need Him to be with me. Like I need His guidance to grow my kids because the world is actually something cruel these days. We give birth to kids, they turn out to be something we've never wished them to become. So every day when I look at my kids, I be like, God, I can't do anything. I can't.
You depend on Him.
So my faith is in you.
Amen.
My trust is in you to raise these kids. Because I'm not actually going to give a lame reasons or lame excuses saying I'm a single mom, I can't do this. No. I feel like I don't even give myself the trophies of saying I'm a mother and I'm a father to my kids. No, I'm not. Because even myself, I'm failing to take care of myself. But then God is taking care of me. Me being able to take care of them, it's actually not me. It's God. I might think that I'm doing a good job, but then I'm not. Because God is actually overtaking care of them. So now that I'm working, I just found someone to look after them. Every day it's my stress. I pray to God that God, please be with my kids even in my absence, because I might not know what this person is doing to my kids in my absence, but then I need you, Lord, to actually watch them or for me in my absence, because it's not like I enjoy leaving them behind. I'm leaving because I'm trying to survive, because God helps those who help themselves. So I can't sit and expect God to put food on the table while I'm seated and relaxed.
Yes, we actually hate laziness because He is a working God.
So
So you work on Sundays. You don't have any chance of going to church.
I don't. I get one day off.
So we need to pray for that, guys, because we know that she needs to be part of the body. This thing of doing church alone, it never works. So we need to pray for that. She must get Sunday. So we are in a mission for Usali to get a Sunday off, or even find a church around that area, a good church where you just go and come back to work. So that's our prayer, guys. Or even find a job, another job, guys. If you do have a job somewhere, a good job for Usali, yeah, you will contact us. You do know the email, right? It is mytruthpodcast@gmail.com. So you can contact us if you do want to hire Sally for a job that will be Monday to Friday, so that she can go to church. But for now, we know what she needs to go to work so she can take care of her kids. There are different people who have movements where they're fighting drugs, they're fighting all kinds of different ill treatments that are happening out there. So I want to be the one who's also going to fight. So it is My Truth Podcast. It is all about that, sharing the gospel, making sure that people know about God. And I think our first project will be Sally's brother. So Sally, please tell us more about your brother, how he grew up, things that he used to like.
My brother's name is Lesero. So he grew up loving to play soccer. So until, he was like a family kid, everyone's favorite kid in the house. Everyone loved him and everything. Until this just one day, after my grandma had passed away, so my little brother, in 2017, that's when we started noticing changes in his life. So he used to he first got into pirates. What do they call it?
It's the Junior Academy.
Yeah, Junior Academy Pirates. Then he got back. I don't know what happened actually that time. He got back. He wasn't fine. They said there was drugs on his system.
Oh, no.
Then he went to rehab. He came back. Again, Sundance came for him because he was so good, like really, really good. Sundance came for him. They said he should train, he should start running so that his system can be back to normal or something. So it has been a very difficult journey, especially for my parents, because every time they would take him to rehab and everything, like they had to spend a lot of money that they don't even have on him so that he can get better. But then I don't know, at first when he got back from the academy, he came back, he came back to the family and he started staying with us. We were thinking it's actually fine, but then he wasn't getting better. So okay, sharp, he was fine at that time. So they noticed when he went to ShopRite and stole something at ShopRite. So ShopRite had opened a case for him. He got arrested. So he was young. I think he was 17 at that time, or 18. Yeah, he was 17. So the government said he's actually young. So what they did, they took him to rehab. The government took him to rehab as well, because they noticed that he was under the influence of drugs. So they took him to this rehab somewhere not far from Modapi. Like I think it's next to Modapi, where they take young kids, because he was there for that after stealing. So when we got them, he came back from the rehab, but then I feel like that was the time he got worse. After he went to that rehab, because he was like I think he stayed for 3 weeks. When we actually went, me and my mom and my mom's friend went there to pick him up to come back with him. So when we got back, he was okay. He was fresh. He was like he was tiny because he was smoking. So that 3 weeks of him being in rehab, he had gained weight and everything. So my mom was thinking, oh, he's fine because he's now big. Like he has gained a little bit of weight than before. So just to find out that side at that rehab, the security guards are also selling them drugs. So he would call all the time saying, I don't have money for bread. Can you please send me bread? And my mom is like, how much is bread? And he would be like, bread is 50 rand. So my mom had to go there and ask the security guards, and they were like, yes, it's true, it's 50 rand because we buy the bread far and we come here, we use transport. So my mom believed the whole story, the whole scenario that was made by the security guard as well as him. So apparently it was like something that they actually do to convince like this drug addict, like, okay, if you want to buy, you need to tell your parents this. And at that time he was young. So okay, my mom used to send him 50 rand for bread, not knowing that he's not actually buying bread, he's buying drugs. So he's one person that is open. Like sometimes when we are seated together as a family, he would start telling us all those sort of stories. So I'm like, oh, there was this other time he was actually angry of something, saying that my parents are spending more money on his siblings, not him, or something. So my mom was like, I used to send you 50 rand every day for you to buy bread. And he was like, yeah, that rehab plan, it's even the worst rehab ever, because that 50 rand, it's not for bread. We buy drugs from those security guys. So they bring us drugs, and I was smoking a certain drugs. Now they were bringing something different because I wanted to smoke. I would buy it as well. Like, so my mom was actually stressed that she lost hope in those kind of rehabs. So I don't know, he stole again. So it became a habit for him to actually steal. Like he like, it was like, I don't know, like, have you ever seen someone being possessed? He was like acting possessed, like he would steal something. We're all here, but then you can't see him until he's gone. That's when you actually notice that this thing went missing. So that the day he got arrested, I was actually, in the morning I was cleaning. So when I was cleaning, I just noticed that there was no DVD. So I'm like, okay, guys, where's the DVD that was here? They said like, oh, it was there. What happened to it? I'm like, I don't know, because like I'm cleaning and it's not here anymore. That's when you notice that he took it. So my mom was actually angry because he had stolen a lot of things. So he took my father's belts, my father's trousers, shoes, and he sold them, and he was selling them for like 5 rand, 15 rand. So, and after stealing, my mom would go to those guys that he sells to take those things back. Sometimes we'd go with the taxi owners. They would give, like, he's that type of person. After stealing, he's not even shy to tell you where he sold those things to.
Because he is an honest and open person.
Yeah. So like after stealing, after he had smoked and like whatever he wants to smoke, after the satisfaction, so he doesn't mind taking you there. Like, this is why I sold this thing for 15 rand
anymore. I'm high.
Yeah. So my mom some would buy them back. Some, like, she would just take them by force, saying like, how do you buy things from a young child, a drug addict? Don't you know I can open a case for you and they can arrest you for buying stolen things and stuff. So yeah, he got worse day by day. He got arrested. He went to MYTRUTHWITHLINDYSHIRRIES for like 9 months or more. He stayed there. So as a mother, my mom, like a mother, like, that's when I realized that even after what your child did to you, you would never neglect or leave them to suffer. So my mom would actually buy the officers at the prison, like, I don't know, the prison warden. Yeah, the prison warders. He would like give them money so that they can take care of him and stuff, so that like he doesn't get beaten by the other prisoners and stuff. Until it came to a point whereby he was the boss himself, because everyone cared for him and he was the youngest. They used to call him small. So we would go there. My mom would go there to buy, like, he would buy him food, everything, to like just. And in prison, he wasn't getting that drug. Okay. He came back. Immediately when he came back, they took him to no smoking rehab somewhere in Mulej in Polokwane. So he stayed there. So that rehab, like, they would chain you. Like, they chain you so that you do not run away or something. So he stayed at that rehab for like plus minus 6 months. He came back, still he relapsed.
So it looks like people who go to rehab, they always rehab. Not all of them, but then it sounds like most, because I had another case of someone who went to rehab and then that person relapsed again. So I think the reason is because there is no replacement of what a person should do after removing drugs. Because obviously there is that craving of going back. But then if you are introduced into something bigger, introduced into God, then I see people getting better. So I don't know if you've watched TikTok account called, I think it's
Letgag.
Yes, that TikTok account. Guys, watch those people, guys. That guy, Mr. Mloto, he is really doing a good job. So if there's one person who we need to like really partner with, it's those type of rehabs where a person is introduced to God. When they come out, they don't just come out as people who are trained what to do when they have these cravings. Now they have something better, like they pray, and sometimes with miracles, God does take away their cravings. So I even know someone at church, his name is Simon. This person is even a pastor now. He went to drugs and did everything to do with drugs. Also the same kind of situations where he was giving his parents like really difficult time. But now by just prayer, not even a rehab with that one, he's not smoking and now he is a pastor. So I know once you replace with God, it does work. So that's the movement that we want to stand for. And starting with Sally's brother, we can start something like that. And I know I'm not a person to run rehabs, but Usali, she's passionate about that. And I believe God is able to do anything. So yeah, guys, wait for those details where we'll ask for help to start with Sally's brother. And then once he's healed, and then him and Sally, they can start this rehab center, because I truly believe in living your purpose. So how did that affect you as the sister? Because I remember one time you said to me he came to you where you are staying and you just cried, like the way he's looking and the way he talks to you. So how does that affect you?
With me, the other thing is that like my parents sold their house here. So they moved. So I'm the only one left Ekasi. So that's where he
Look for tissue.
He's actually staying. So all the time when he's attacked when people attack him, so I'm the first person he comes to. So all the time I'm the one who actually have to answer his calls when he gets attacked or something. So which is somehow heartbreaking, because I see all his flaws and everything. Like he would come to my place like all the time. Like he came the last time, like I'm speaking of something that happened recently, like 2 days, maybe a week back. He came over to my place and they stabbed him on the hand. So he was crying. So okay, my son loves his uncle so much. So my son was crying. Like that night my son didn't sleep. He was busy saying, "Mama, it's my fault." And I'm like, "How is it your fault?" And he's like, "Mama, and it's my fault." I'm like, "How is it your fault?" So he was busy crying all day. Even at night, he was having nightmares about his uncle, because his uncle came bleeding and stuff. So it's actually heartbreaking. And like, since I'm also a mom, I have a son, sometimes it stresses me. Like, I don't even wish for my worst enemy to experience a child that is going through drugs and everything, because it's traumatizing. Like, the minute they are away, you feel pity, but then when he comes to you, you just get annoyed like he annoys you, because you know how much the whole family has tried for him to actually be fine. So like, when he comes over to my place, I would like shout at him and be like, "Don't come here. Why is it every time when they do something to you, run here? Who sent you at the street? Who said you should go there? Because you had a home and you ran away because you think you're smart. Like, I'm giving him all those things and stuff. But then immediately he leaves. Like, I go back to my room. I start stressing. I'm thinking, what if something happens to him and I had just chased him away? What if, like, I start having a lot of what ifs and what ifs?
Yo, Sally, this is hard. And I know us as people who haven't experienced that, we can take it lightly. But then I once had a dream and told Amos and even people at church. And after that dream, I actually realized how parents feel. Those who are having kids who are going to rehabs and also smoking weed. So what I dreamt of Akan. Akan is my last born. We were at this place. It looked like a flat, and we were staying there. And Akani came, and I had to chase him. And then I'm like, Aki, why are you here? And then I had to sit with him, and at the same time I knew that I needed to chase him because he was stealing from people. And I'm like, but why are you smoking drugs? Then he's like, no mama, I promise I will stop. I promise I will stop. Just let me sleep on the floor for today. And in that dream, guys, I cried because this is my son who was smoking drugs, and he's not even 10 yet, but he was smoking drugs. And I cried. Like, the pain was so deep. You know when you have that dream where you even feel the pain, and I think God wanted to show me how these parents are actually feeling, and I think it's something that God wants me to also focus on. And then after, I'm like, Aki, you have to go out. And that time I was crying, saying, no, Lord, now I have to chase my son, and he's cold out there. And it was cold, it was during winter. And then I started looking for jerseys and jackets, and then I'm like, okay, I can wear this one. I started like piling up clothes so that he's warm. And then at some point he was so heavy, tired, wanting to smoke drugs. And then he's like, no, mommy, don't worry, I know you love me, but what I'll do, I'll just go outside so that you don't worry about me stealing things in this flat. And then he's like, no, you know what, mama, I'll do, I won't sleep, I'll just run around the estate. Oh, I think it was a flat. And then he said, you know what, mama, I'll do, I'll just run around so that I keep myself warm. You don't worry, keep your jerseys because they are heavy. And I cried, guys. I cried up until I woke up. The following day, I wasn't fine. And to me, even when I shared the testimony at church, I just knew God wanted me to feel how these parents are actually feeling when they look at their sons and they have to chase them away. So, guys, this is something that we really need to focus on. And I know there's a lot of people who are focusing on this drug issue. But now, all I'm saying is we're replacing the drugs with God. And we are praying for them. And we are inviting the Holy Spirit to transform them. I've seen people. It is doable, guys. It is doable. So Ulisiho, he is going to be the first project. I will announce how we're going to do it, how we're going to donate, how we're going to follow his journey. We are going to look for him. We are going to arrange a rehab where there's God inside, because I know too now, besides the TikTok one, there is another guy who I'm going to interview soon. So he will tell you more what happened in rehab for him not to go back, because he's even a church now serving. I also know the pastor as well, the one that I talked about. So please give words of wisdom to someone out there who's a single mom, pregnant, alone, the boyfriend or the husband left. Please give just advice for someone who has lost hope.
So what I would say is that I don't have an advice for anyone. What I have, it's he is actually the way.
Yes.
Because I don't stress anymore. I don't worry at all. I just worry, I don't worry about my kids. I worry about me getting to work.
Yes.
Me, how am I don't have money for transport.
Yes.
How am I going to do that? Like, that's what I'm worrying about, that's all. But then with my life in general, I don't.
And you also talk about you want a house.
Yeah, like that's
kids,
that's my everyday prayer. I'm like, now I have 2 kids and I'm renting 1 room. No, this needs to change.
Yes, and also a car, because sometimes I would think if she has a car, any type of a car, as long as it moves, it will make things easy for her to get back home to her kids quicker. So yeah, guys, Usali works at
Coalition Para.
This is in Kyalami, so I will put the numbers, not Zagasali, because you guys I know. I'll put the numbers of the office, ne?
Yeah.
And then you guys must say what you watch Sally from this podcast so that she knows that the referral came from this place. So it is a beautiful place, guys. I promise to go there before.
No, they'll see you playing.
Yes, I will go there. So I shoot the whole area and then they can do big bookings through you. So it is something that is famous now. These tennis pedal things are really famous now. So yeah, guys, that's the end of our podcast today, and we thank God for Sally's life. I hope you were encouraged, because life is hard. And guys, do remember, we all sinners, so we cannot go around judging people to a point where people do not want to come to church. And as well, Sally talked about Christians living a life that is not glorifying to God, and that makes people not to want to come to church. So let's just live according to what the Bible is saying. And that also, guys, remember, we have grace. If you do make a mistakes, do not condemn yourself. We have grace. Jesus Christ died in the cross for us. Thank you, Sally, for coming today, and I do know that your testimony is going to encourage someone out there, someone who's feeling like, maybe let me just leave this whole God thing. And the word of God says in Romans 8 verse 28, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. So it doesn't matter what the devil does to your life, just know that God will turn whatever he throws in your life into something good and according to his purpose. Thank you, guys. If you're watching us from Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please don't forget to follow and also comment, guys. Most of you are not watching there. Please download the apps and follow us. The name of the podcast is called It Is My Truth with Mpho and Lindy. And if you're watching from YouTube, guys, remember to subscribe. The name of the channel, it is called My Truth with Lindy.Sherries. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking, and also do comment. Those comments, guys, are contributing to this channel growing. And I love you guys. Don't forget to love the person next